Did you know that what most doctors have been telling seniors about normal blood pressure has been dangerously incomplete for decades? I don't say that lightly. I say it as a heart surgeon who spent over 25 years repairing damaged arteries, reopening blocked vessels, and watching older patients do exactly what they were told, only to return months later weaker, dizzy, confused, and sometimes worse than before. For years, we were trained to believe one simple idea: lower blood pressure is always better. But no one ever stopped to ask the most important question: does lower always mean safer when you're over 60? Because what I began seeing in real patients told a very different story. The moment everything changed, a massive multi-center study followed thousands of seniors whose systolic blood pressure, the top number, was aggressively pushed below 120. On paper, that sounds perfect. But in real life, many of these older adults began experiencing sudden dizziness, dangerous falls, fainting episodes, kidney stress, memory fog, and reduced blood flow to the brain. Some lost their independence within months. Here's the truth most people never hear. Blood pressure is not just a number. It's the force that pushes oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, kidneys, and muscles. And when that force is pushed too low in aging bodies, especially those with stiffened arteries, circulation can actually get worse, not better. That's when I knew something was wrong. The range that actually protects seniors. What shocked me even more was what happened when doctors stopped chasing extreme numbers and aimed for a moderate, stable range instead. Seniors who maintained systolic pressure between 130 and 139, diastolic pressure in the 70s, had fewer strokes, better balance, clearer thinking, higher energy, and fewer falls. That range kept blood moving strongly without overstraining fragile vessels. And that brings us to today. Because in this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful science-backed ways you can start using immediately to lower your blood pressure naturally and safely, without pushing it too low. And stay with me, because method number 2 comes from a clinical trial where seniors lowered blood pressure without increasing medication and regained mental clarity at the same time. Before we begin, just a quick note: all medical studies and sources are linked in the description, and I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from today? We read every comment and reply like a virtual clinic for this community. Now let's begin. Number 5, stop restricting salt. Start balancing minerals. This step sounds almost too simple, but it immediately lowers pressure inside your arteries in a way most seniors were never taught. The 5th most effective way to optimize blood pressure after 60 completely contradicts what many doctors still say about salt. Because cutting sodium too aggressively after age 60 can actually destabilize blood pressure. A major study published in the European Heart Journal followed over 10,000 seniors and found something surprising. Those consuming moderate sodium, between 2,000 and 3,000 mg per day, had better cardiovascular outcomes, fewer hospitalizations, lower mortality, compared to seniors who restricted sodium below 1,500 mg. Why? Because aging kidneys process sodium very differently than younger ones. Blood pressure stability depends on a delicate balance between sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. When seniors cut salt too drastically, fluid balance collapses, leading to orthostatic hypotension, that dizzy feeling when you stand up. And that's responsible for thousands of devastating falls every year. The mineral matrix approach. The goal isn't eliminating salt, it's balancing it correctly. Start your morning with 1/4 teaspoon high-quality sea salt or Himalayan pink salt dissolved in warm water with lemon taken on an empty stomach. This supports proper aldosterone production, the hormone that regulates blood pressure throughout the day. This simple step helps prevent sodium crashes that cause rebound pressure spikes later. For every 500 milliliters of sodium, pair it with 1,000 milliliters of potassium from foods like bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, avocados. Magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, and dark chocolate act as natural calcium channel blockers, keeping blood vessels relaxed. Timing matters. Consume most salt during daylight hours. Reduce after 6 p.m. to prevent nighttime pressure spikes. If you feel lightheaded when standing, you likely need more salt. If your ankles swell, you need more potassium and water. Now that minerals create the foundation, let's move to a method that reprograms your nervous system itself. Number 4. Reset blood pressure in 6 minutes with Japanese breathing. Japanese researchers discovered a precise breathing protocol that lowered systolic pressure by up to 15 points in just 4 weeks, without medication. This isn't generic deep breathing. It's called resonance breathing. Exactly 5 breaths per minute. Inhale for 6 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. At this rate, heart rate variability synchronizes with breathing and resets your blood pressure control system. The Veterans Administration tested this on over 2,000 older adults with resistant hypertension. After 8 weeks, average systolic dropped 14 points, diastolic dropped 8 points. Why this works so well for seniors? Because aging reduces baroreceptor sensitivity, the pressure sensors in your arteries. This breathing rejuvenates them. How to do it correctly? Sit comfortably. Feet flat on the floor, hands on thighs. Inhale through the nose for 6 seconds. Exhale through pursed lips for 6 seconds. Pursed lip exhalation stimulates the vagus nerve, your body's main blood pressure lowering pathway. Practice. 3 minutes. Upon waking 3 minutes before bed, signs it's working. Warm hands and feet, reduced cold sensitivity, improved calmness. Now that breathing resets your pressure sensors, the next method fixes something most seniors never realize is happening. Number 3, drink water at these exact times. UC San Diego researchers discovered something critical. When you drink water matters more than how much. After age 60, thirst sensation drops by up to 40%. That leads to thicker blood, forcing the heart to work harder. Drinking 16 ounces of room temperature water 30 minutes before meals lowered systolic pressure by 12 points in 2 weeks. But drinking the same amount with meals, almost no benefit. Targeted hydration protocol. 16 Oz water immediately upon waking, 16 Oz 30 minutes before lunch. 16 Oz 30 minutes before dinner room temperature only. Cold water constricts vessels. Hot water can cause sudden drops. Between meals, small 4 Oz sips hourly. Filtered mineral-rich water works. Best. Check hydration. Pale yellow urine. Skin snaps back instantly when pinched. Now your blood flows properly. But method number 2 actually rebuilds your vessels. Number 2, the 9-minute chair exercise that beats cardio. This sounds unbelievable, but it works better than walking or traditional workouts. Isometric resistance training. No joint movement, no impact. Done sitting or supported. The Mayo Clinic studied adults over 65. After 8 weeks, systolic dropped 14 points, diastolic dropped 8 points. Better than cardio. Why? During isometric holds, blood flow is briefly restricted, then released. That release floods vessels with nitric oxide, the body's strongest natural vasodilator, and the effect lasts up to 22 hours. The proven protocol: 3 exercises: wall sit or chair supported, modified plank, knees down, hand grip squeeze, 30% effort. Hold each for 2 minutes, rest 3 minutes between 3 days per week. Breathe continuously. Never hold breath, only 27 minutes per week. Now here's the method that stunned researchers. Number 1, the cold water trick that adds years to life. A 20-year Finnish study followed 3,500 seniors. Those practicing regular cold exposure had 50% lower hypertension, 40% fewer heart events, lived 6 years longer. Cold exposure trains blood vessels to constrict and dilate efficiently. Johns Hopkins tested seniors using hand and foot cold immersion. Results: systolic dropped 18 points, diastolic dropped 10 points. No ice baths required. Safe senior protocol: start with cool water, 65 degrees. Hands submerged 30 seconds twice daily. Lower temperature gradually to 50 degrees. Add foot soaking after 2 weeks. Later, end warm showers with 30 seconds of cool water on arms and legs. Never chest or head first. Best time: between 3 hours and 6 p.m. Cold exposure increases nitric oxide, brown fat energy, mood sleep quality. The real optimal blood pressure after 60. Here's the truth. 120/80 is not ideal for seniors. The optimal range is 130-139 systolic, 70-79 diastolic. Large studies show seniors in this range have better cognition, fewer falls, lower dementia, risk, better quality of life. Your brain and kidneys need adequate pressure as arteries stiffen. Too low starves organs. That's why stability matters more than chasing perfect numbers. You don't need extreme measures. These 5 methods work together. Minerals, breathing, hydration, isometric exercise, cold exposure. Start with 1 this week. Add another every few days. Within 2 months, you'll have a system that often works better than medication alone, while improving how you feel. If this opened your eyes, subscribe so you don't miss our next video. The 5 foods doctors secretly eat to protect their hearts after 60. Thank you for watching. And remember, your best health years may still be ahead of you.